One Piece. This is One Piece chapter 1059, the matter involving Captain Kobe.
Kobe beef.
Bloody cross.
We have a little update on the whole Vinsmoke situation. It looks like they escaped, and Caesar Clown helped them with his hallucination gas, causing Oven and Katakuri to punch each other. So
He's strong. I'm telling y'all.
yeah, I mean,
That's all I'm saying. That he's strong.
Hey,
that's it. It's
nobody
the only thing I'm
sleeps.
implying.
Nobody sleeps on Caesar's usefulness and his ability. You know, he technically beat Luffy one time, so there's that.
Yo, he's got a Luffy win under his belt.
He does have a Luffy W under his belt.
That's very rare.
Yeah, he doesn't lose easy. But we start off at sea. Apparently Marco went to go see Shanks, who is floating by on Sphinx, which is an island near Whitebeard's hometown. Oh yeah, that's where Marco lives. Basically, he takes care of the people that Whitebeard grew up with, basically, like his town. But yeah, I guess he gets dropped off by them, and he says bye, all that stuff. And we cut back to earlier in Wano, where we get a little bit more of a resolution in terms of Yamato's standing with the crew in general, and his decision to stay behind on Wano. And basically, he decides to stay, for the reasons he stated earlier of following in Odin's footsteps kind of to the letter, but also, he just can't leave Wano unguarded, especially since they just survived an admiral attack, basically.
Yeah.
So, as much as he still wants to go with Luffy, he decided to stick around and guard Momonosuke for the most part. So, that's cool. Anyway, apparently, I thought that my bad. I thought that he asked Marco to join his crew. Maybe I misread that at some point. But yeah, he basically thanks Marco for helping him all the way back in Marineford. This is really the first time they've for real talked. So since then, so it's kind of a nice little moment for them. So he flies away, and we cut over to the Island of Women on Amazon Lily, where Boa Hancock is just like, at this point, I just want to be married to Luffy. And then there's the grandma in the back being like, you mean at every point? You talk about you talk about this shit every day.
Yeah, this isn't a brand new fucking development.
Yeah. But it turns out that this is Boa Hancock weeks earlier. We noticed that she has a bandage on her head. But we cut over to weeks earlier when the Marines first started to go after the warlords after they've abolished the 7 warlord system. And we find out what happened on Amazon Lily. There has been a whole Marine attack led, I guess, by this Vice Admiral named Yamakaji. I remember his face, but, we don't know really much about him yet. So he's there, and they're fighting, but there's also this little girl who has wings and fire. So you know what that fucking means. You know what time it is.
She's one of those red fucking wall people.
Yeah, yeah.
One of those
goddamn red wall people. And not only that, she's shooting laser beams out of her hands that look familiar. But as if that's not enough problems, not only do the Amazons have the Marines to contend with, Blackbeard also pulls up out of nowhere and starts causing trouble. Pretty big fucking deal.
Can you do the laugh?
So he's coming, and he's brought alongside him Vasco Shot and Katarina, I believe her name is. Who I believe
Vasco Shot?
Yeah. Vasco Shot is one of the people from Impel Down he picked up, obviously. We don't know his powers yet, but we know that Katarina has I believe Nine-Tailed Fox, that's her fruit. She has a mythical zonin That's the nine-tailed fox. I don't know if you want to verify
Oh
that, Brian,
shit.
but I think that's what I remember it being. But anyway, she's
I thought
there.
she was like an impersonator, no?
I think that's part of her abilities as a nine-tailed fox. You know, like
Yeah, because they could do that too.
um, I'm 99% sure she has a mythical zone of some sort. And I think it's the nine-tailed fox. But that being said, he pulls up, and I think he just like ignores the calm belt entirely. He just like goes straight through it, and like brings with him kind of a swarm of Neptunians. So
Oh shit.
yeah, uh, yeah, they don't give a shit. He pulls up, and he's using his like Whitebeard powers, his Quake fruit powers, as
To get
he's
through the fucking calm belt.
yeah,
By the way, yes, it is the nine-tailed fox.
yeah.
Nice.
uh,
Wow,
anyway,
I didn't. Hold on. So Whitebeard used to be able to cut through the calm belt when he pleased.
no, Blackbeard's just crazy. He doesn't give a fuck.
Wow. Yeah.
Uh, as far as I understand, that's what happened because he just showed up, and I believe the Amazon Lily is kind of like close to the calm belt. It is on. It's actually on the calm belt. So there's that. Um. So yeah, Blackbeard's coming through. He's fucking up Marines left and right. Kobe is just like, ah, shit. I should have known that pirates would try to assimilate warlords. Um. But yeah, Boa Hancock comes out to the battle herself. As Blackbeard is like making his way onto the island, he notices another Lunarian child that has a PX tattoo on him. This is different from the little girl that was in the forest. This is a different kid altogether. So, you know, I think Blackbeard.
Oh, I didn't notice that. I thought these were the same kid.
Nah, it's a different kid. This kid has a sword. That looks suspiciously like Mihawk's sword now that I'm looking at it. It has like the big cross. And I'm starting to wonder something. I'll get to it at the end here. But yeah, they slice through, and you see that he uses this sword to slice through straight through the mountain on Amazon Lily. So it's starting to come together, something very interesting considering what we find out at the end here. But moving onward, this kid goes directly up against Blackbeard. Blackbeard uses his black hole from his dark fruit. And we don't know necessarily the fate of this kid quite yet. As we move back to Boa Hancock, who is just stoning dudes left and right, using her abilities. Helmeppo is caught in the fucking crossfire.
Helmeppo got caught. I didn't even peep.
Yeah. There's another.
Oh yeah, there he is.
I think there's another pacifista just hanging out somewhere. We don't know who this one is, but given I have a pretty good guess given what we've already absorbed a little bit, the information we got. But the battle subsides. Blackbeard has defeated Boa Hancock for the most part. He's basically just like holding her by her neck because he's fucking massive. And he's
larger than life is the word.
Yeah,
like, is the
definitely. And he's using his powers to negate Boa's. Apparently, he came to this island specifically to get Boa Hancock's abilities, which is interesting. I think maybe he's planning to give it to somebody else, but apparently her abilities are useless without her beauty. So if she dies here, then that means like she won't be able to undo her people, and the Marines that have been frozen will also be permanently stoned. Blackbeard then reveals an interesting amount of information here, where he notices Kobe in the back, and he's like, "You helped me at the Rocky Port incident," which is we don't know much about this incident. All we know is that this is the incident that also made Law a warlord. So there's something happened at this fucking thing, but it had, I guess, something to do with toppling a guy named Wang Shi. And becoming the boss of Pirate Island, where we've seen Blackbeard so far as his headquarters is this big, where we've seen Moria go and all that stuff. So yeah, he basically asks him, he's like, "Hey, you think if I let her go, she'll play nice and turn my men back?" And Kobe's like, "Well, I need my people back too." And Boa Hancock tries to cop a plea here and is like, if you both leave without trouble, I'll let your people go. And Blackbeard is like, Cap.
So not only do I not believe you, but that doesn't work. That's not enough for me.
Yeah.
I ain't come out here just to get my friend stoned and then turn right back.
Yeah.
Came here for something.
Yeah. And he's like, well, I guess I'm just going to have to kill her. And, Kobe's like, don't fucking do it. And I guess as Blackbeard is about to end Boa Hancock, a familiar face shows up to the island as well. It's motherfucking Rayleigh. Pretty cool. One of these, actually.
Right arm of the Pirate King.
Oh, yeah.
The Dark King himself.
Silver's Rayleigh. So,
The Dark King, Brian.
Yeah.
Baskin.
That's him.
He's coming for your crown, bro.
That is pretty edge, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'll give him one of the Quinnadals.
Like, how old were we when they said Dark King? Like 17?
A while ago, yeah. We were like in high school when we see Rayleigh.
Yeah, those are some edge days, man. I know we were like,
the Dark King. It's the Dark King.
Yeah, that's all because of one word in front of King.
Yeah. But yeah, he pulls up and he's like, he calls him Whitebeard's cabin boy. He's like, he said, this isn't very...
No respect for Blackbeard.
Yeah, he said, this isn't very mature of me, but I've never liked you anyway. So basically he's like, undo the petrification, Hancock. I'll mediate the situation. He pulls a fucking Shanks and he's like, there will be no more fighting today on this island. So
yeah, he did pull a Shanks.
So pretty fucking cool.
Is Blackbeard that afraid of Rayleigh? Really?
Well, we'll get into that in a few seconds because like the very next page, we cut back to the present. Everything seems to be okay as it could be when your marine rated island has just been basically like trampled over for the most part. But yeah, we also learned that Shaki's there. Shaki's there with him, and it turns out she was the former pirate empress. She used to rule this place, which is kind of shocking. We knew that Shaki was of some importance. I mean, she hangs out with Rayleigh, so
yeah, Rayleigh.
Just didn't know where exactly.
Are they a couple?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think that's the implication. Maybe she left Amazon Lily to sail with Roger. That's my guess. Is that she was on Roger's crew as well at some point, and ever since, it's been she's just been with them. But in any case, they talk about how the Seas Prism Stones just like make it unsafe for Amazon Lily for in terms of getting raided by the Marines anymore, because now the Marines can travel there whenever they want. The Calm Belt is no longer really a deterrent for the Marines.
With the sea paddle.
Yeah, yeah. And the Marines have had that for a while now. So, like, that was an established thing from a while back. That's how they can get
could get to the Calm Belt.
Mm-hmm. They have, like, these ships designed with sea prism stone at the bottom that makes their ships undetectable to Neptunians.
Wow.
Yeah. So they basically are starting to think about like the pacifistas, the new models of the pacifistas that they've been fighting against, and they figure that they're going to be a replacement for the warlords, in more ways than one, because as it turns out, one of the pacifista children in the forest apparently looked exactly like Boa, and we know that Blackbeard went up against one that had a giant sword. And was also pacifista, so
it looked like a girl, like another girl.
It could be.
Well, it could have just had long hair.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously what they're doing is that they've somehow cloned the warlords into pacifistas as well.
The warlords themselves.
Mm-hmm. That's why one of them looks like Boa, and that's why one of them was able to just cut the fucking mountain in half, basically.
Yeah, you're right.
So, I guess that's what they're going for. And not only that, they seem to have fused them with the abilities of Lunarians, giving the black wings and the fire on the back. So, they all have that too. They're all like part Lunarian. So, um, OP children is what is what the
Yeah.
military have created. But the chapter ends with another development. Um, the Marines are heading towards Egghead, which I believe is an island, maybe. But yeah, they basically say they also revealed that Kobe has been abducted by the Blackbeard pirates, and his status is currently unfucking known. And
Rayleigh clearly says that he would not have won against Blackbeard.
oh yeah,
one-on-one.
that's what I meant. Is that like Blackbeard wasn't necessarily afraid of Rayleigh. It's Rayleigh and also everything else happening around them. That
He tilts the situation completely out of hand.
yes, yeah, he by himself kind of like made the situation untenable.
Yeah.
Which
I mean,
which
I think Rayleigh is also a pretty big deal.
no,
Like,
obviously no, I'm not saying that to take away from Rayleigh. It's just it is
The
just
Dark
taking
King.
it is just kind of like taking advantage of Blackbeard's cautious nature. I think Blackbeard is a very calculating person in general. Like he doesn't take risks that
Even though he went through the calm belt?
calculated risk.
How the fuck did he do that without getting eaten alive?
I don't know. Oh, because the
probably
island
Seastone boats, no?
well, the island is on the calm belt, so it's unavoidable. The only thing he could do was just like blitz it.
Wait. How did Luffy get up out of Amazon Lily then?
Because
If he was on the
Boa,
calm belt.
as a member of the world government, technically had one of those ships that allowed them to go back and forth.
Oh, okay. When they went to Impel Down, he broke it.
Mm-hmm.
How do you
Yeah,
break into Impel Down? That's crazy.
yeah. But in any case, that's where the chapter ends. Josh, what did you think about this chapter?
So, I enjoyed this chapter. It was really cool seeing Blackbeard again. Yeah, I know he's one of my favorite characters. And he didn't disappoint, man. He looked really cool. I mean, he did his signature slam the ground and make a pool of darkness. I liked it. It's epic. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, and it's cool because he used it against that kid and kind of neutralized him. So he really ain't. Blackbeard really is a problem. Like,
Yeah.
I think that was
he's
just
got
a funny sentence.
What?
What I say?
He had the power. It's like when you use the context, it's like he has the power to create earthquakes. He could create like a black hole, and you used it against that kid.
Yeah.
The power to create
'cause that kid
tsunamis.
was going crazy.
He took down that child.
That shit chopped the mountain in half. You
That's
see
no
Blackbeard's face? He was
It's
like,
just funny. It's just a funny sentence out of context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, but it was crazy how pressed Blackbeard felt. And it's cool because I forget that his power makes it that he takes double the damage, right?
Yeah.
Like when he's
I think
using it.
I think that's the theory, or like the assumption going around is that because he absorbs everything, he even absorbs pain at a higher level than most people.
Just all the time, or while he's using the fruit.
All the time.
Wow.
We don't know
like
the particulars.
So he's like a glass cannon. I mean, he's
Yeah.
he's durable enough to take a slash.
I mean, he'll
from-
live. I think he's durable, but the pain itself that he feels is just amplified.
I see. It's really just a matter of it's another edge thing, isn't it?
He just feels it more, I guess. So it's just it sucks. It's just
Well, I like it.
yeah.
I don't really have any other thoughts. I'm really curious. I don't know what to make of the Kobe situation. I did want to hear about what you guys had to say. Brian, care to share?
I like this chapter. Honestly, the Kobe thing, I hope they get into the Rocky Port incident so that we actually, have a better connection to it. Because right now it's kind of just like an empty thing. Because when they mentioned the Rocky Port incident and all this shit, I was like, okay, that's cool. But like, it wasn't really mentioned all that often, and it's not really something that was made as a big deal. So
It's
hopefully they
funny you
get.
say that.
I was just
Oh,
hoping they
sorry.
would do like a flashback sequence for
Yeah,
it.
I was gonna say it's funny you say that because I was really hoping that you guys would know what they was referencing. Because I'm like, maybe I
I had no clue
forgot.
about it.
I mentioned it before.
What happened
It's
at the
not
Rocky?
a
Oh,
it's a
well,
thing
you mentioned it last week.
I mentioned it this week. It's not something we've seen, but it's been an event that was mentioned. It's something that happened in the time skip. Where I guess like we've learned more about what it was, where it resulted in Blackbeard toppling a pirate boss that allowed him to take over the pirate island. Basically the Tortuga of this world, if you know Pirates of the Caribbean very well. But as up until this point, all we've known about the Rocky Port incident was that it's the event that made Law a warlord. So his involvement there, it ended up in him also becoming one of the 7 warlords of the sea. So something happened, and I don't know if we'll get into it. I don't know how necessary it is to get into it, unless like there is a deep plot point outside of Blackbeard specifically going after Pirate Island and the reasons behind that. I would think it would make sense that he would want an island to hide out where he can gather his massive fucking army crew. So
And he's in the new. It's in the new world, right? The
yeah,
Pirate
it's in
Island.
the new world.
It's cool.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll go there. Maybe if we go there, we'll find out. Maybe that's the island after Elbaf, is Pirate Island.
It's so close to Lafta.
Yeah,
That's funny.
who knows? Brian, what did you?
Maybe that's
And Blackbeard isn't there, so I guess it would be interesting for Luffy to show up before him.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? He probably went back, to be honest, after Rayleigh scared him off here. But yeah,
I have a random thought
yeah.
before you get into your overall thoughts, Chris. I wonder how Dragon feels about Blackbeard.
Not great.
He probably doesn't like him since he destroyed his base.
Yeah, they're beefing for sure. Blackbeard launched an attack on the yeah. Yeah, Blackbeard launched an attack on the revolutionary specifically. So
You're right. I remember because the dude Eustace wrestling man.
Jesus.
Jesus, yeah,
Burgess.
Burgess, Jesus,
Burjois.
Jesus Bourgeois.
He like snuck on someone's boat to get over there and turn shit up, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, he basically called Blackbeard over there to fuck shit up. So not on good terms, I imagine.
No, but I'm saying, why would their interests misalign? They both hate the government, right?
Well, who knows?
Blackbeard is is fundamentally anti-government, isn't he?
Well, I feel like there's an ideological thing with Dragon, as per Blackbeard is just kind of a criminal.
I see.
So it's not necessarily it's not like their hate for the government is probably for different reasons. And Dragon's not necessarily a pirate, but then I don't know why he would have beef with. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Blackbeard.
Well, I mean, it's Blackbeard that has the issue.
Blackbeard has
could just want his devil fruit.
That's also possible. I mean, that's also entirely true. Blackbeard's just going around killing people, taking their devil fruits. So who knows?
I wonder if Blackbeard has another person in his crew that we don't know about that he wants to give Hancock's fruit to.
Yeah, I mean that's entirely possible. He could give it to he can clearly give fruits away. He's taught his crew how to take powers. So
what? Oh, they know how to do it too?
Yeah, because Jesus was after Sabo to take his flame fruit away.
Maybe he just wanted to kidnap him so that.
No, he seemed to know the method. He said, "I'm gonna take." He was like, "I'm gonna take your powers right here on Dressrosa." When they were fighting for the first time.
Yo, that's crazy.
So there's got to be a method of some sort. But I don't know, Brian. Do you have any other thoughts?
So it looks like the government made a Lunarian warlord clones using Kuma as well. So that was pretty cool, pretty interesting. Also, I think the whole thing with Marco going to Shanks and them, I think that kind of confirms that Shanks probably isn't a villain. So there's that. Because Marco doesn't just fly around and fuck with anybody, you know? So I feel like that kind of keeps Shanks in the good guy category.
Oh, Marco went to go to Shank's ship.
Yeah, he hitched a ride on
Yeah.
Shank's ship, and
How
they were
did he
like,
know? How do y'all know that it was Shank's ship?
because he was on it, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Yo, Marco, you want to join the crew?"
Oh,
And then he was like, "Nah, I'm too old, motherfuckers. I don't
I
want to
need to
babysit y'all."
reread this again.
Yeah, go back to page
Ace is old too. The fuck? Ain't
Page
they crew
2.
old? I guess they're still a generation before.
Marco's older. Marco's older.
Shanks and Whitebeard's crew are like the same. They're at the same level.
No, but Marco was around when
Oh.
Roger was around. So
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, he's
You're
like
right.
50. He's like,
No,
It's pretty
because
old.
I remember Shanks being young when they fought against the Rocks Pirates, and Whitebeard was a part of that.
yeah, and he's older than Shanks.
Who's older than Shanks?
Marco.
For sure.
Marco was like a teenager when Shanks was like a kid.
Yeah.
So,
Oh wow. I noticed that.
yeah.
What did you say that they mentioned something about the? Well, I said I was gonna go check. Oh, about him joining the crew.
Oh, yeah.
I need to go back.
Page 2.
That was before all this Blackbeard stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, any more thoughts, Brian?
I'm kind of sad that Marco didn't at least join the Straw Hat Alliance.
He'll probably pull
I
up.
love him. I love him for the Straw Hats. I think he would be a great like addition to it. But he does have some overlap with responsibilities when it comes to Chopper and stuff, so he wouldn't be part of the main crew, but I want him to be with the Straw Hats all the time.
Yeah. I mean, he'll probably pull up at some point. I don't think this is the last we'll see of Marco.
Did this happen in the previous chapter where he's talking to Shank's crew?
No, it just happened here. It's page 2. But I guess in the meantime, I'll get into my thoughts. This was my RGC, I suppose. So one of these.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Yeah, I just I really enjoy these chapters. We got our first look at the outside world, really. A more detailed look, and we got to see Blackbeard again. That shit was epic. We got to see Boa Hancock do her thing. These pacifistas actually really kind of like were the reveal that made me be like, whoa, this chapter's crazy. The fact that the government just like outlawed the warlords and then we're like, we made our own is the reason why.
That is pretty crazy.
Not only did we make them, we like that they have similar abilities to all of you, but they're also pacifistas and they're also Lunarians. So
also Lunarian for the aesthetic.
Yeah, just for the edge aesthetic of it all. So very cool.
I wonder if these people with wings have anything to do with the Skypiea people.
That's what I was thinking. Because Skypiea people have wings.
Yeah, there's got to be some kind of I remember the Skypiean people are important to the overall story.
Oh yeah.
So the thing is, Lunarians are. It's possible because Lunarians were part of a really, really high place in the world. Like they're part of like what was it? They're on a mountain on top of the Red Line, aren't they?
Yep.
Or weren't they?
Yep.
They're just on top of the Red Line, I think, in general.
So they were pretty high up there, so it makes sense for them to be like related to like Skypians to some extent.
Yeah, I mean, we also don't know how the Skypians got up there. Like who were the first Sky Island dwellers,
Probably Lunarians.
Exactly. That's entirely possible.
Yeah, minus the fire.
Yeah.
What was the fire thing about? About him being able to take damage or not take damage?
I don't remember what the fire thing was about, but I'm sure we'll get more clarifications on the Lunarian thing. There was a very timely introduction by Ora, so they're obviously going to be way more important than
Yeah.
than initially thought. But yeah, I really like this chapter. I thought, if there's a world building chapter of One Piece, I'm a simple man. I RGC it almost immediately. I'm easy that way. But yeah, there's just...
RGC for me as well.
What?
I'll go with it.
Brian, where do you stand?
Sorry, not for me. Not well. I love the chapter, but it's not my RGC.
Wow. All right. Well, here you go, Josh. You get one.
RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Yeah, a lot of little reveals here. The stuff with Shaki was kind of cool. It's like a little world building thing. We finally get to see her significance in the past. Rayleigh pulling up is badass as usual. Blackbeard pulling up is badass as usual. It was even cool seeing
Mega
Kobe.
badass.
Ultra super double mega badass. It was great. This whole chapter was just great. That's all I gotta say.